Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Peace, family. This is your brother, Mr. Holipsism, here with my co-host, Deontay Ford.
Yep. It's the dynamic duo once again, lighting up y'all Sunday afternoons.
Yes. And the title of this live stream is U.S. Presidential Election 2024. Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. And the question that we're asking is, why should we be voting?
Yeah. What's in it for us?
Yeah. And I want to use a quote from famous ancestor, attorney Alton H. Maddox Jr. And he says, asking a person to vote without political education is like asking a person to perform open heart surgery with no medical training. You're going to have a butcher on your hands.
Oh.
I remember that quote because it was so true. And it made me think about this live stream today. What does voting do for Black folks?
Yeah, what are we getting out the deal?
Yeah.
Like are we having our economic freedom being given to us? Like are we being, like we can get 40 acres and a mule? Like what are we what are we getting out this deal? Like honest question.
I mean, personally, if it's just about pulling levers, why don't you go to Atlantic City or Las Vegas?
Yeah, you'd have a way better chance, bro.
Hey, you might actually get something out the deal. I was told if you go to the casino and you play the slot machines, play the machines that if you hit, everybody can see, because those are the machines that pay off. That's what I was told.
Yeah.
So you play the machines, whether you near the front door, the entrances, near the cafes, in the aisles, near the aisle, so that when any place where people can see you hit, everybody can see it.
Yeah.
That's where they put the winning machines. That's what I heard. Don't. I'm not giving out any advice or anything. I'm just saying.
Shit, you got me wanting to go to Vegas and get at. Well, we got a casino up the street from my house. Maybe I should take a gander.
Yeah, well, if you notice people hitting, where do you see them hitting at?
Where everybody can see it.
They don't hit in the machine in the back where you back there just feeding it your money.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying. But anyway, that's just an aside. Who do you think is going to win?
It's too close to call. It can go either way. From what I understand, from what I've seen from some of the more reliable polls, Donald Trump has an edge over. But then again, I have to take into the account that Democrats are known to outperform their voting polls as well. So just like Republicans do. So it's really close to call. I don't really know.
Yeah, I feel the same way. But usually,
Donald Trump, he messed himself up with bringing that idiot on who told that Puerto Rico joke. I'll say that. And Kamala didn't help herself with botching them interviews, and I'll add that into it.
I didn't really see her interviews. What did she botch?
They asked her a question as it related to immigration and cost of living and housing, and she basically gave a vague response. They asked her like how she was going to implement any plans or procedures that were going to fix it, and she basically just couldn't answer.
Mm.
Yeah, that didn't help, and that's what gave Donald Trump his lead. From what I understand,
So
while
you
he's
mean,
losing,
wait a minute, wait. So she gave a vague answer on a policy position. Let's juxtapose that against they're eating the cats, they're eating the
well,
dogs, they're eating the pets. That's
well,
worse.
well, that's because they actually 24 hours before that they asked Donald Trump and JD Vance that same question, and he basically said that immigration was a problem and that he was quote unquote going to do something about it. He didn't say what, so just that pushed him ahead in the polls because a lot of Americans are worried about immigration.
Yeah, but my
So
point still stands. Let's
yeah, I understand your
which
point.
which is worse? A vague answer on immigration or a raving freaking lunatic?
Yeah,
You know, it's just
I
crazy to me how normalized, and I hate even using that word because it's been overused, but how people have normalized insanity and lunacy. It's like when you set the bar so low, if you do anything that would be considered normal, people want to pat you on the back and say, "Oh, look at it." It's like almost like, you know,
like being proud of a grown man for wiping his own ass.
yeah. It's just
Yeah.
crazy to me how much this guy gets away with. And everybody just say, "Ah, this is my favorite. Whenever you say something that Donald Trump has actually done, right?
Yeah,
What I noticed is the strategy that a lot of his supporters use
opponents.
is,
Oh,
well, I mean,
so.
he's not really going to get away with it. I'm like, what? So basically, you're voting for a candidate so you can stress test the American government system. That's what you're doing. You're voting for him to see because they'll say, well, he says that he's going to ban this and that, and they go, well, that's not. We have so many checks and balances. That's not really going to happen. It's like that's not a good argument.
No, it's not, bro.
But
You,
this is where we
you're,
are. This is where we are. I give my personal opinion. I want you to give your thoughts first before I get into mine. Like what is your stance on how black folks should be voting?
I will quote the late great Malcolm X when I say you use your ballot like a bullet. If you find your candidate that's going to do something for you, like say for somebody like me in my predicament, I would have been a Bernie Sanders fan if he because he ran on that he was going to cancel student debt. You vote for who has your best interest. But since we black people really don't have that, you have to question, okay, there's nobody on the ballot for us. Black people have not really even themselves put them in the position to groom a candidate on the levels that we would need, like mayors and governors and things like that for the communities that we need to even be able to secure ourselves something here. So right now, I would say we should be sticking, to using our ballots like a bullet. But there's nobody on the candidate for us. So as far as I'm concerned, black people should probably try to secure some kind of power structure of their own, be it in America or somewhere else, so we can at least, alleviate the pressure off of ourselves. But I also feel as well as we should be doing a little bit more to if we're all going to stay here, or for those that choose to stay here, they should try to own something like maybe an electric power plant, or, maybe water distribution or something so we can at least have control of our own resources, but we're not doing that either. But as far as the voting thing goes, I think we should, stick to using our ballots like bullets. If we find a target or somebody that's going to help us out to get a little bit of leeway in this country, that's what we should be sticking with. But honestly, as of the last couple of years, I just don't see that. It's So that's my whole position on
My position is that we should stop. Um, and keep in mind, I'm talking about right now. Like, I'm not even
it.
talking
Right.
about in a perfect world. I'm talking about this
Right
election
now.
and our position in this country right now. Any vote that you give and within this system is just basically damage control. I think people need to stop looking at things as who's going to be the better candidate because there is no better candidate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not like either candidate is going to give you anything. Either it's not like either candidate is going to make your life any easier. So then what are you actually voting for? Damage control. Who is likely to do the least amount of damage out of the candidates? That's it. And me personally, oh, you know what? This is a point that I definitely want to make. And I guess this kind of is my train of thought for just politicians in general.
Hmm.
I don't want my politician like I heard, and this is crazy because me and you are wrestling fans, right?
Hmm.
And the Undertaker is one of my favorite wrestlers. Period.
Damn
So it's
straight.
so you can imagine I was very disappointed to say the least, and sad that he would have Donald Trump on his podcast.
Oh, oh,
But he said something that really pissed me off too.
who did?
Undertaker.
Oh, okay.
He said to Donald Trump, "You've made politics interesting."
Oh, see, I didn't see any of this, so
Well, I didn't either. I didn't watch the interview, but I did see that part. Like they had highlights.
oh, okay.
And he said, you made politics interesting. Let me just say this for the record. I don't want my politician to be interesting. I don't want my politician to be charismatic. I'm not when I'm and when I say oh God, and I gotta preface these because people think I'm talking about this system. I'm speaking in
Right.
general, but I'm particularly talking about let's say hypothetically we had our own nation.
Hmm.
We already do in Liberia, but
Right.
let's say that we
Right.
focused on it and we've made it ours and it's up and running and thriving, first
Right.
world nation.
Right.
I don't want my president to be interesting. I don't want to have a beer with my president. I don't want my president to be like a comedian on the stage and making me laugh. You know what I want my
Right.
president to be? I want my
Focusing on running the
president to
country.
be fucking competent. I don't care if
Yeah.
he's boring as hell. I want to know that they're competent in their job.
Right.
Why are we acting as if the presidency is the WWE?
I don't.
If it's the
I think it's
WWE, then I don't mind if it's interesting. I don't mind if it's entertaining because that's fucking entertainment. Why do
yeah.
people want their president to be an entertainer?
I think it's because of the cult of personality.
Yes.
Especially in countries in Western countries, they go with that whole cult of personality factors. That's what made Hitler so popular until they went to war with him. That's what made Mussolini so popular before they went to war with him. All they talked about was how and it's in the history books. It's in Time magazines. I think was either going to put Hitler on the cover of it or did, and I think FDR praised Mussolini for what he was doing, even after what he did to Ethiopia. These people, Western societies, they like leaders that they can, I guess relate to or draw, some kind of energy from. I'm not really sure if I'm smart enough to phrase this correctly, but it seems like it's a cult of personality thing.
There's no seems like it about it. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. People want entertainment. They look at their politicians to be entertainers, and mainly because politicians have made themselves into entertainers,
Yeah,
or giving off the
Donald.
impression that, oh yeah, well, we want our politics to be interesting. We want a charismatic. Listen, I will take a boring politician who knows what they're doing, who knows about how the American system works, how knows about the three branches of government, knows about checks and balances.
Yeah,
Not a politician that thinks by raising the cost of tariffs that you're hurting Chinese companies.
and keep in mind that China doesn't care. And this is just a little fact check. China does not pay any tariffs. American corporations, through taxpayers, pay those damn tariffs when they import Chinese-made goods to sell to the public.
Wow,
So just a
Deontay,
little,
why don't
yeah.
we vote for you? Because it seems like you know more about this than they do. Especially, I won't say they, because I'm pretty sure the Democrats, as corrupt and as full of shit as they are at least competent when it comes to knowing how to run government.
Yeah,
When you got a president or a potential president who thinks that by raising tariffs, you're hurting China because he's so fucking incompetent that he doesn't know anything.
right.
Oh my God. And
And
this is
from what
what,
I
and these,
hear, oh shit. And from
go
what
ahead.
I hear, people overseas, they also are laughing at Donald Trump. And for a lot of these conservatives online, when I do occasionally come across them, it's not been as bad as it used to be. But when I do see, not even me engaging with them, but seeing the stuff that they post, and they still think that everybody outside of this country, all these foreigners, they still think that these people still look up to the United States is like an example of like an excellent country. When in truth be told, that's not even the case. A lot of these foreign nations and these foreign people view America as a comedy, whacked out fiasco disguised as a country. And it's populated by lunatic fringes upon lunatic fringes. That's what they think. Nobody looks at America in that kind of vigoration anymore. Some days, maybe in the 80s and 90s, in the earlier part of the 2000s, but not so much now. And George Bush and people like and George Bush is probably the biggest nail in the coffin. I would have to say between him and Reagan.
But you see what I'm
As
saying?
far,
It's like,
yeah,
if you
yeah,
don't know as a political candidate running for president how tariffs work, I don't even know
yeah.
what to say to that. I really don't
And
even.
keep
And
in
then,
mind,
is he the
and
one
he's
that's
been
bad?
president.
Right? Is he the one that's
And he's
bad,
been
or is his
president.
Kent or his supporters?
Or dingy.
People think that there's a
That's it.
problem with illegal immigration. There's not really a problem with illegal immigration because they've been deporting people like record numbers.
No, they've been bringing them in at record numbers too. They've been
No,
flying these mofos in.
no, 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 no. People think that the problem is illegal immigration when really the problem is oh damn, why am I drawing a blank? What do they call it? Asylum seekers. People seeking
Yeah,
asylum from all of these
these
unsafe
messed up
countries.
countries. Well, maybe they should do something about U.S. foreign policy that's causing it. Like, how
Uh
about that?
wow. Yeah. You sure you don't want to run for president?
No, I don't want that shit. There is only
Wow.
one country. There's only one country that I want to run for president for. You catch my drift? And it
Yeah.
ain't this one.
Let me bring in I want to bring in Eric. He wants to jump in on the conversation. Peace, Eric.
What's going on? Good afternoon, guys. How we doing?
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good. Go ahead.
All right, yeah, I
You can
said
hear him?
hello.
Yeah, he's coming through clear on my side. What's up?
I don't hear
Oh,
nothing.
hold on. Well,
Oh,
tell him to drop me back down, and I'll come back up.
Wait a minute. How are
okay.
you
Yeah.
hearing me?
Wait. Drop him back down and come back. Let him come back in. Just take him out. And let him come back in. That's what he said. Clear. Maybe I should mute my mic when he starts speaking. It might help. I'm not sure.
Hello, y'all can hear me now?
I can.
Okay, I don't know.
I can hear you.
Guys, if you can hear him,
Yeah,
press
I can hear.
one
I
in
can
the
hear
chat
Dion.
room.
I can hear Deontay. I can't hear you. Hollopsism.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, I can hear you, and I hear both of y'all, but he can't hear me. I can hear Deontay.
Wow.
It might be you, or you might have to drop back down and come back up. I don't know.
Yeah, you want me to? Yeah.
You're going to have to take over because I cannot hear him at all.
All right. What were
Okay.
you going to say?
Who me?
Let me mute myself.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. Yeah,
Mark.
I was just going to talk about how well, Trump definitely gonna win on Tuesday.
You think so?
But yeah, like I said in the chat, it's going like unfortunately, like y'all talking about, he was talking about entertaining and all that. But I mean, unfortunately, with the day of social media and all that stuff, it gotta be a people have to like you and your personality policy too. That's what's gonna get them to go vote for you. You got to be a combination of both. Because Trump got both the personality, the presence, and he got the policies that resonate with a lot of people. That's why he gonna win. But he take the other chick, Kamala. Everything she says is a damn lie, is a contradiction. She's not really that likable, and your policies don't really align with what people going for in America. So it got to be a combination of both. Unfortunately, and this ain't the old the '60s and the '70s and the '80s back in them days. So since the internet, you got to have a combination of both. So yeah,
Okay, I can hear him.
yeah,
Can
that's
y'all
Yeah.
hear me?
maybe. Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
you coming through clear. Let
I
me
don't know
mute my
what the
mic.
hell
Go
was
ahead.
going on with that.
Yeah, but my
I got some
question.
bad news for you, Eric.
Go
Well,
ahead. Go
some
ahead.
some potentially upsetting news. I won't say bad news.
What's that?
Um, do you know who's leading in Iowa?
Trump should be. I mean, I don't go by them polls, man, because Iowa's
Well,
always
you
been a
gotta
Republican.
gotta go. Well, I don't necessarily go. It depends on the poll and it depends on the history of the poll. And in Iowa, it's been pretty consistent. Like that, if a Republican is usually going to win, they're winning by at least 10 points in
Mm-hmm.
Iowa. I think the last two elections, whoever was like when a Republican was gonna win, like when Donald Trump won against Hillary Clinton, I think he won by 10 or 12 points in Iowa. So that was sort of like an indication. It's like one of the indicators of how the election's gonna go. Do you know what he's leading in Iowa this year?
At least it got to be at least 5 points.
He's down 3 points in Iowa.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
And
Cause
this is from a reliable poll,
yeah, cause
historically reliable poll. So it's not
yeah,
like the Democrats made it up. He's actually
yeah,
down 3 points in Iowa.
yeah. CNN did the thing. I think you could look it up. The map night before last, where she ain't even hitting 215. They got Trump at 262, and that's not even counting none of the Rust Belt, not Pennsylvania, not Nevada. So he
Who
already
took
at
the
two six.
poll?
Huh?
What poll was that?
On the CNN on the thing where when they do that map, the live map.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
Hmm.
seen that. He was at 262 without Georgia, without Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. You only need 270 now. So they had him at 262 and her at 213 minus them states. So that's without the flips
Yeah,
that's how bad she doing.
that's the CNN poll, which I
Yeah.
don't trust.
And they supposed to be and listen, they supposed to be Democrats. So they even turning on her. They not supposed to be talking like that. You supposed to be making her look the best you can look. Just like they did Hillary Clinton. She was up in every poll.
It depends
Donald
on the
Trump.
poll.
Yeah, I'm saying no, but
Like I don't like me because I don't follow Dems or Republicans. I just look at the numbers. So when I go to see what is actually going to happen, You got to look at polls that have historically been accurate. You got to look at them. What was the polling when Hillary Clinton lost? What was the polling when Joe Biden won? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Those are the polls that count. Like those CNN and MSNBC polls, I don't give a shit about those. And I basically only look at the key states.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
like I follow
Well, the key state,
Poly
the
Market
key,
right now,
yeah, the
I'm
key
not
and
state,
saying that,
right
I'm not
now,
saying who's gonna win because I don't know. But
yeah.
I will say that in the key states, um it's not looking too good for Trump.
No, Pennsylvania looking, they got it tied up in Pennsylvania, which is a bad sign. When they say they got something tied up and it's a blue state, 9 times out of 10 it's going to Republican. They got Trump in Nevada. They got them two tied up in two states, only Nevada and Pennsylvania. And he ain't supposed to be
Check
tied
out
up with you.
check out the polling in Iowa
Yeah, but
because
Iowa's was yeah,
that's what I
yeah,
look at. Like if you're a Republican in Iowa should be up by at least 10 points.
yeah. But you gotta
So
look.
when you got her winning Iowa by 3, like something is not. And then it is so the American public is so unpredictable.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't say that is like I'm not saying that Trump isn't going to win. I'm not saying that Kamala's going to win. I'm just saying that it's
it
gonna
doesn't
really
look good
be
for Trump. It's gonna be close.
Yeah,
it's
I
gonna
think
be
she get.
close no matter what. It wouldn't surprise me if he wins, and it wouldn't surprise me if Kamala wins. It wouldn't be shocking.
Yeah, that'll be shocking to me. And then you gotta add that fact to that assassination attempt. That woke a lot of white people up too. People forget about that. That's gonna bring a lot of white people out the woodworks. I'm talking about in the millions.
Not really. That
I think so.
after his assassination attempt, his polling didn't do any better. If anything, he got shot for nothing.
But listen, but you got to look at everything that transpired. That's the same. Didn't him and Biden had to Biden stepped down what a week before that, 2 weeks. But and that's when she started getting all. She had a lot of momentum in the beginning with raising money, but then
Mhm.
all that went down after like 2 months. Remember July, August, she was beating him, but then all of a sudden, last 3, 4 months, he started creeping up, and the polls started to flip.
Yeah,
So
like
that's why it
after
seemed it seemed like
she was up after the debate because she won the debate. So
yeah.
she
So that's
has
the little momentum
momentum
she
and
had.
stuff.
And then she raised what $200 million in 2 months, three
I'm
months,
gonna tell
whatever.
you her biggest problem because Trump doesn't really have any policies. It's not like he's beating her on policy. Her biggest problem is what's happening in Gaza,
Yeah,
which
and
is to
and
me a layup. It's like the whole world is looking at Israel like, what the fuck is up with you guys? It's to me that's a layup. A layup. You're gonna hold on and support these people through all of this shit that they're doing, and you're gonna end up losing the election because of that. That's gonna be the issue that makes her lose. And that's
and
not coming from because Republicans are gonna vote Republican no matter what.
hmm
Trump has faithful, loyal supporters. And Republicans usually have this herd mentality where whatever the major talking point is, they all stick to it. Dems, on the other hand, are not the same. It's like they don't rally around this one leader like that. They tend to be more independent. Like Republicans are dogs and Democrats are cats.
but see the things about the Republican, they stick together no matter what. The Democrats will throw each other under the bus.
Yeah. And the
That's the thing.
Democrats
It ain't no
also
loyalty over there.
the Democratic Party doesn't give a shit about their base.
They don't.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly.
Republicans fear their base.
Yeah,
That's the difference.
and and you got to think about how people are thinking, like white society, when it comes to like a lot of people are thinking in terms of protection too, because they look at like Trump as like the ultimate protector. Now, we're not going. A lot of voters going to be like, man, I'm not voting for this chick, man, and all them other world leaders around the other 150 countries looking at us like we a joke. Man, this might be a Pearl Harbor part two. She up there cackling, laughing, and lying, and they're trying to hit her. They're trying to catch us slipping from the back. So they looking at the strength and the protection part too. That's why I see a lot of extra people gonna come out for this election because they're looking at a woman president as a total disaster. No matter what her American policies is, a lot of people are thinking domestically and foreign. I mean, they're
That I
thinking foreign.
that I
Yeah,
don't agree with at all.
you don't think so?
No, I'm saying I don't agree with this whole it's gonna be a disaster. It's gonna be the disaster because the Democrats, no matter what you may think about Kamala or the Dems, Kamala Harris is not some freaking communist. She's not
No.
she's a freaking corporate Dem,
I understand. I'm talking about like,
which is basically like Republican lights.
yeah.
Like
Now
Yeah.
you remember?
their policies are not going to be disastrous. It's just going to be the same thing that we've been seeing. It's not going to be you're not going to really it's like um if this was a ride, it wouldn't be a roller coaster ride. It'd be like that fucking carousel.
Yeah.
You
You
know
know
what I'm
how
saying?
like
It's not going to be any dramatic things
yeah.
happening. It's going to be you know,
I'm just
taking the
thinking like,
country off the rails.
yeah,
Now Trump
like
on the other hand, Trump on the other hand um, has openly stated that we should bomb Iranian nuclear facilities. Would you
see
say that
stuff like
that's a
that.
calm, rational human being?
But that the people look at that as strength and
No,
now look,
no,
hold on,
Eric,
hold on,
Eric,
real quick,
Eric,
huh?
Eric, Eric, Eric. Fuck the people. I'm asking you.
Go ahead.
Is
No,
that
no,
a rational human being?
it's not, but
Okay.
that'll strike
It's
fear
just
in all leaders across the world. Now, remember when Obama was president, everybody, that dude from South Korea, where North Korea, he playing around with the missiles and like you said, Iran and everybody else kind of playing around with Obama, talking about what they gonna do and not obeying his orders. But from 2016 to 2020, they knew Trump was a loose cannon, so they're not gonna play with him like that. Let's have a meeting and sit down and talk because we know you about that life. It's that type of
Eric, it sounds
leadership.
like you're drinking the Trump Kool-Aid. Is that
No,
what's
I'm
going
just
on?
saying. I mean, no, you see, no, but you seen
no.
this
I
on
think he's
TV.
trying to explain their position. I think that's what he's doing.
Oh,
No,
okay.
but no, we seen this on TV. We all seen this in real time, right? Am I lying?
What part? Are you talking about the world respecting Donald Trump in
I'm talking
America?
about the leaders playing around with like nuclear missiles and rockets and pump faking like they want to do something to America. All that stuff ceased
Who's
when
doing that?
Iran tried to do it, North Korea tried to do it, right? Right?
Seriously?
I'm I'm
Wait,
No.
what?
asking, I'm asking, right?
No.
So
If
what?
you talk about Kim Jong Un and his
Yeah,
lunacy,
exactly.
no, he wasn't going to do shit, and it had nothing to do with Trump. It had to do with China.
Well, that's what you say. So I'm saying that Trump had to step in on the behalf of America and say, man, you need to chill out. Same thing with the Iran
And
president.
you think
Y'all
he
need to
chilled
chill out,
because of Trump?
huh?
You think that he chilled out because of Trump?
I think so. Yeah, I think
No, it
so.
had nothing to do with Trump. Do you know
Yeah.
who North Korea's ally is?
Who? Who?
China.
Okay, but I mean, all that stuff stopped
China
though,
is
right?
the one exactly because China told him to stop it.
Oh, okay. I don't know about that, but
It's almost like your little brother, like you're the big brother, right? And your
uh-huh.
little brother is going out talking shit because of you. Yo,
Okay.
but my big brother is gonna whoop your ass, and then you, the big brother, go, yo, chill.
Exactly. So I'm just
It's the
saying. So
same thing with Iran. You notice how they got rid of that Ahmadinejad guy?
Yeah.
Because he was the one that was talking a whole lot of shit, and they got rid of him.
okay, who got rid of him?
Iran.
Okay, but who do you just like you said,
That
big
had
brother?
nothing to do with Trump,
You just made the analogy of the big brother and the little brother. So
right?
you saying Trump is the big brother, right?
No, China's the big brother
Okay, so I mean,
to North Korea.
any way you spin it, Trump had something to do with all that stuff coming to, and that's all I'm trying to say.
But
So
that's
that's what I'm saying.
exactly
But
what I'm saying. He had nothing to do with it.
when it comes to this girl, when this what if that's what I'm saying, that's gonna be what how a lot of voters gonna think. They thinking protection. She can't protect us from people like that who going
And
yeah,
Trump
well,
can?
I think so because they know Trump
Oh
is a
no.
Trump. They know we got the most powerful military in the
Well,
world.
wait. Can I add, wait? Can I
Go
ask a
ahead.
question?
Go ahead.
So, what exactly do you see about Trump that gives you the impression that he can bet? I'm not, pulling sides. I'm just asking a question.
Say it again.
What do you
Kind
see? I said I'm just asking a question here. What do you see about Donald Trump that gives him the impression that he can better protect the American people via policy than say, or whatever means, than say a Kamala Harris?
because that's what I'm saying. Most world leaders are not going to respect the women. Can we all agree to that one?
No.
I don't
Okay.
think so because there are
Okay.
well,
So all right. So
Okay.
no. Okay. Y'all said no. Okay. Let me say the second part. And I'm just saying, based on his president, he been president before, so we know when he was president before, no, all countries knew better not to play with America. That's all. Just simple
what?
layman's terms.
Oh my God. No, I
That's all I'm
Wait,
totally
saying.
wait,
Now,
wait.
disagree
y'all,
with
So
y'all
that.
can,
what?
y'all
What?
can
So
debunk
wait a
me.
minute. So
Y'all can
no, I'm
debunk
not.
it.
I'm not, sir. I'm just asking questions. So when Barack Obama was president, I know that issue with North Korea over that movie that we made came out, and Obama, if I'm not mistaken, did a kowtow to them.
He did a what?
He told them do you remember the movie The Interview?
And I never seen it, but talking real life terms.
Oh,
Go
okay,
ahead. Just keep
so
it real life.
okay, so
Who is
there was a
attacking America?
movie. Wait, let me get this point out. So there was an interesting incident in 2016. It was about a movie. I think it was 2016, maybe earlier. It was a movie called The Interview. It starred who was the guy?
Oh, Seth Rogen?
Seth Rogen. Yeah, no, not
Uh-huh.
yeah, Seth Rogen and what's his friend?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
The other
about. The
guy.
one with
Yeah,
North
so
Korea.
they made that movie. Yeah, they made that movie. It was a joke parody film about North Korea. And the North Korean government got angry about it because it was portraying their leader in a silly image.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
My
they got
my.
so pissed off, they said, if y'all put that shit in theaters, we're gonna fuck up your country. And Barack Obama did a kowtow and told them not to put it in theaters. It had to go straight to Netflix.
So who
So
got punked?
so
Who got
people were
punked here?
Barack,
Okay. And
and he's
my
the
point
leader. And
exactly.
he no, your point is saying that Donald Trump is going to do different. You got to keep in mind that the United States, even though Obama had a very large and very powerful military.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my
So if
point.
I'm
It's like nobody's
yeah,
attacking America.
Okay.
yeah,
But
they
I'm
can
just
make all the
saying.
threats they
But
want.
yeah, I'm just saying in
But who
just
has even
regular.
threatened to attack America?
Just I mean, I'm just saying if that's not going to be a good look on our behalf, if a lot of world leaders see that, they'll just look at her as like a sign of weakness. This is who y'all got for president. We can really play with y'all now. I'm just speaking hypothetically. That's all
Oh,
I
I
was saying.
totally disagree with that.
Okay, no problem,
Yeah,
no problem, no problem.
I respectfully disagree.
Hey y'all, how
Is
y'all
it?
doing?
That's
Hey,
cool. That's
Hello.
all good.
what's up, sis?
I'm good. I was just listening to the conversation. I wanted to ask a question. Do people really think that the military changes when there's a new president? That
Not
somehow
really.
we
Exactly.
lose our,
No.
I mean, people
No,
really think that even really, right?
it gets a little bit more
The
powerful. Some people can
authority,
make it more powerful.
Yeah.
the authority to wage war is actually that of Congress, not the president. President doesn't wage war. The Congress does. And America, no matter who's president,
Mm.
has the most powerful military in the world.
Yeah, I said that already. Yeah, yeah.
This is, and even if this was a street fight, Kamala could kick Trump's ass. He's an old man.
Mm.
So I don't really
Street
understand
fight
this
with
thing
who?
about. I'm just saying, y'all act like he's this big tough guy. He really isn't. He's a little
Yeah,
weak,
nobody said that. I'm just
soft,
saying.
spoiled trash talker that has no understanding of the world whatsoever. And he puts his foot in his mouth and it humiliates the people he represents internationally. He's been president before. We've seen the disgrace and the shame. This guy was in love with dictators. He
Yeah.
thinks Vladimir Putin is a hero. I am old enough to remember growing up during the Cold War. I don't know how old you are, brother, but when I was in elementary school, we used to have drills where we hid under our desks and stuff, right? I grew up during the Cold War when people thought that the Soviets, the USSR was coming for us. They dismantled the USSR. Trump's wife, when she was born, He was part of the USSR. He's married probably to some psychotic, Russian sympathizer because she was born under that flag, the Soviet Union. This lady was first lady, and Trump was running around with all of these Eastern Europeans. Americans have such a short memory and forgot who their enemies are. Vladimir Putin ain't forgotten nothing. He hates this country. I also, as a first generation American whose family's from Africa, trust me, Russia hates America. They pump anti-American propaganda all over the place in Africa because they hate this country. They haven't forgotten the Cold War. Americans need to get off of their stuff, their hatred or fear that's based on nothingness, and just think back 30, 40 years, what the world was like. These
Yeah.
people hate this country. And the people that Trump was all kowtowing with are the enemies of this country. This is not a joke. If we want to talk about national security, you want to talk about a guy who grew up in a fantasy world and lived his adult life in Hollywood, womanizing and being unserious, snorting coke. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean
Don't
that's a bunch
nobody
of
take
personal
him
stuff.
seriously. I'll
That's a bunch of
Who's
personal
talk to
stuff
y'all
you're
later.
talking
But I
about.
just
best?
wanted to say
Yeah,
that. I'll listen offline. Peace, y'all.
yeah.
He's also best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, could you imagine? Oh wait, hold on.
Why
Yeah, I'm
she
sorry.
leave? She
Y'all
didn't
hear
have to
me?
go.
Yeah,
Yeah, why she
she
leave?
dropped her 100 bars and left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a bunch of personal
Oh,
stuff. She
Chima
didn't
got
really say
knocked
too
off.
much.
Hold on.
She
Hey,
left. She left.
y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something about the situation. Like during the Cold War period, the United States it was run by a bunch of tactful people. Yeah, were these guys a bunch of warmongers? Yeah, but they were at least intelligent. They were strategic in how they can give these other countries hell, and they were also tactful in how they can manipulate their own populace into believing them. Nowadays, the people who run the State Department today, they're like a bunch of fucking morons. They're basically
They
the
call
spoiled children of
they
the people who ran the country before.
yeah, they call them crackpot realists.
Exactly. Like they're very disconnected from their populace that they think they can fool they think they can fool them by saying oh Vladimir Putin's out to get everybody, or he's messing with their election, or the CCP's is 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 pushing drugs through Mexico. People actually do say that for whatever reason.
So who you think will win Tuesday? Who you think will win Tuesday?
Who I think will win Tuesday?
Who you think?
Honestly, I'm not even. To be honest, I'm not even sure. To be honest with you, because
Yeah.
both these candidates just seem out of whack to me. You have Kamala Harris repeating these Zionist idea talking points, like the Palestinians beheading babies and raping women in the middle of a hot battlefield, and then you have just Trump saying all this dumbass shit like Haitians eating dogs and Puerto Rico being like a pile of garbage in the ocean, that kind of
That
nonsense.
comedian got up there. But yeah, I looked that dude up. That dude was saying some nasty stuff on them roasting. Ain't nobody checked him or nothing. I seen a video
Nah,
with him, Kevin Hart and
The
Tom
person
Brady
the
talking
person who's
crazy.
gonna
When
win the person who's gonna win is the permanent bureaucracy, which is what they call the deep state. Like no, those people don't switch offices; they just stay there permanently. So in the end, the policy just continues.
no
them
matter
and
who
the
wins.
military-industrial complex.
Yeah, that's them. That's them. They're gonna
So
continue this just the same.
so basically, no matter who wins, that's who wins.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just ready for this to be over with, man. I'm just sick of the news and every can you look at your phone without seeing some type of politics email or something on social media. I'm just sick of it, man.
I'm tired of getting these dumbass text messages
Yeah.
also. vote for this candidate.
I
Send a
live in
donation.
I live in DC, but I'm from South Carolina, so that's a red state. But DC's blue, and they got the White House looking like a damn concentration camp. You can't even see the White House from the street no more.
I noticed.
Oh, you live up here too?
I live in Baltimore.
Oh, okay, yeah. They got looking like a concentration camp.
What do you mean?
They got like it's because on Pennsylvania Avenue, you could be able like to walk off the sidewalk, go in the park with the little water, with the little the grass and everything, and take pictures, and it'd be like another little street where the Secret Service have their cars at, and you can walk up to the gate. You can't do none of that no more. They got like trailers in front of the gate, and they got the like a silver gate, like them prison gates, all the way to the end of the street. So you got to stand across the street, straight across Pennsylvania.
Somebody,
Oh,
somebody's
oh,
mic
yeah.
catching a lot of wind. Who is that?
Yeah, so you got to stand
Oh,
across the street on Pennsylvania on Black Lives Matter Boulevard. And you got to look at the White House from there. It ain't like you can't walk up to the White House no more. So it's crazy, man. That shit like a concentration camp. But yeah,
you there, Deontay?
Of course, I just did. I just
Oh,
took the time to mute my mic this time.
oh, that was you?
It
Yeah, I
was
just
me.
muted my mic. No, it
No, it
wasn't
was me.
me.
It was me. I was the one that
Oh,
had the wind in the background. I stepped outside.
oh, okay. Chima, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know who's gonna win. I don't think it could go either way because overall the polling has been really, really close. But
Right.
the thing with me is like our vote in America is basically damage control. That's all. Like if anybody who thinks that they're gonna get all of their dreams are gonna come true, and oh my God, this person is gonna work in my interest, it's like,
yeah. Forget
come
about it.
on, it's not happening.
I mean, it hasn't happened any other election. What makes you think it's going to happen this one?
Yeah.
I know for me personally, I would like to because I like to travel, and I would not really, really not like for my plane to get blown out of the air.
Hmm.
That's where my my interests lie.
Hmm.
Right. The Oh yeah, and not to mention the rest of the world sees this country as a fucking joke anyway. So it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
right. But you still got dumbasses saying, "Oh, why do if they see us as a joke, why do you keep coming here?" I'm like, they're not coming here like that anymore. That's for damn sure. Maybe maybe like 10 years ago they were coming here in droves, but not nowadays. Nah,
You talk about immigrants?
both immigrants and just people in general.
Nah, they
The
still coming.
big
That's
issue
why.
is asylum seekers. The
Have you
people who
seen like a
come, I'm sorry, the people who come from other countries that the United States have fucked up and say I'm seeking asylum. Though that's the real um problem or issue is that more than
yeah because
anything else.
you can look around at one time, look at shelters in America in these cities. Used to be pretty much like black and white men and a little bit of women. Shit, you go to these cities now, New York, DC, Philadelphia, damn near all of them, like 60, 70% immigrants. That's their new homes now. And everybody else out on the street begging, the Americans on the street begging for money, and they get to walking straight into the shelters now until they get on their feet. So a lot of people mad at that too.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's kind of like that in
They
my
giving
city
them free
also.
money out of my tax dollars, man. That's
Yeah,
what
so
I'm
they
pissed
get
hey,
they get
about.
they
They
get
give
money, they get EBT in 6 months. They get a place to stay once they get on their feet. Once they get the paperwork done, then they go to school, or you got to put the kids in school. Then they start going to school, and the adults they start getting jobs and all that, and Americans getting pushed to the side.
hey, you know
So,
what? That's the price of empire. It's the chickens coming home to roost.
Yep.
Right.
well, I
If
mean,
anything, America as a whole kind of deserves it because of their foreign policy. Same with Europe.
Yeah, we don't deserve to suffer. I can't. You can't let you sit here and say that we don't deserve to suffer. I mean, I don't
Wait,
have any.
we? Who's we?
I mean, Americans, people and like me, us, like
We
people on the
don't.
street,
Americans don't deserve to suffer.
not by the hands of immigrants.
Wait, the immigrants are
Whoa.
causing Americans to suffer?
I'm saying, I mean, that's who they bringing in to replace us. If you
Yeah,
want to,
but let's
Replace
think about.
who?
Wait,
okay,
wait. Let's think
I'm gonna
about
break it
this.
down. Let me
No,
see.
no,
Let
no,
me
no,
let me
no.
Replace
finish it.
who?
I
I'm
have
asking.
a. No, listen. Let me take over on this. Let me ask this, right? Who has the power to let immigrants come in and out? Is it Americans? Is it immigrants? Or is it the establishment?
It's the government, whether it be
Right.
Democrat or Republicans.
Okay. Right. The permanent state, right? The deep
Okay.
state. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So your issue should be with them, right? Not the immigrants coming in here, right?
I understand. So this is why it's okay. Let me ask this question. Whose policies made it the way it is now? It's only what side, Democrat or Republican?
The permanent state.
No, no, you got to pick one. It's either one or the
There's
other,
no pick.
sir.
Listen, no. Listen. There's no pick one. I told you before. There's a permanent state. No matter who switches sides, even Putin realized this, right? There's a permanent bureaucracy. They're the ones who set policy and cause everything to happen. So
Okay,
your
sir.
issue should be with them. They have the power.
All right, sir.
So
So
there's
where
no
you from?
picking side.
Are
There's
you
no picking
American?
sides. Yeah, I'm an American citizen.
But are you from America, like black or white,
No, I'm
or
not. I got
okay?
devastated. I was forced to come here when I didn't really want to. So
All right.
now I'm
See,
in their face right now,
yeah,
and
that's
I'm
why
taking
you.
all the benefits.
Yeah, see, that's
No
that's why you.
apologies.
That's why you defending this, cause
Yes, of course. Yeah,
yeah.
because
So I
here's the
understand.
thing. Here's what I'm gonna counter to this. Right. I've traveled for like funerals and whatever. I just attended a funeral yesterday where like one of my father's former students had a sister die of a heart attack because lack of infrastructure in Haiti and whatnot. You think Haitians are the ones who wanted the Americans to come in and interfere with their infrastructure, right? All these immigrants coming in from South America, Caribbean, Africa, you think they wanted to leave and come to bust their ass in America? Nobody wanted that.
Yeah, but then
Every
again,
listen, I'm not done. Every fucking person I talk to, no matter what the generation is, I did not want to fucking come here. I don't want to be here. But they force us to be here because of the policy. So
who forced you?
you
Who
listen. I'm
who
not done.
forced?
I'm not done. I'm gonna be the immigrant with my voice saying this shit, right? We didn't set the policy in telling America to interfere with our issues in our countries, right? So since they want to do empire, right? They want to do the brain drain on all these other countries and bring all these brains into America, right? Whose fault is that? It can't be immigrants. You have to take your issue with the permanent establishment. If you don't have the balls to take them out of power, you shouldn't be complaining. You should deal with it.
But okay, let's see. Finished.
Yeah. Do you have the balls to take him out of the play out of the game? If you don't have the balls to do it, you shouldn't complain about it. Haitians had an issue with the French. We killed them motherfuckers and we made our own country, right? And we're still being devastated by it. So now Americans black Americans, whatever type of whatever you want to call yourselves, natives, whatever, you have an issue with the powers that be. They're fucking you over, right? You have an issue with them. That's why they're fucking setting up barricades in front of the White House. They're telling you something, right? So if you don't have the balls to take shit into your own hands, you shouldn't be complaining about immigrants coming in. The ball's in
Mic
your court.
drop.
I'll let you have it.
Mic drop.
Totally agree.
Hello,
What
hello,
makes
can you hear
I
me?
Yeah,
I
have
but
just
a
you
have
I
I
have
have
a
just
quick
have one
prejudice.
My bad, my
question.
bad. I had a phone call, but I heard what he said.
I have
Um,
a quick question for you before you come in, and I'll pause.
for me,
This immigrant thing, y'all act like is new. Like, isn't that the whole thing America was built on? Like,
we
when did
understand that.
America? I mean, the
We nobody said
country.
it's not new.
Yeah,
We're
but
not
the
saying it's
country.
new.
Listen. Let's just let me finish saying my thing, and I'll ask you a question. It's an immigrant country. Everybody that calls themselves Americans, except the indigenous people, are descendants and African Americans. Really, everybody else is a free will immigrant. Everybody else is an immigrant, right? So African Americans are forced migrants to America, descendants of forced migrants. Indigenous people came here, in archaic times. But the idea of the country, the republic, the state was built on the concept of immigration. So nobody complains about Russian immigrants or Ukrainian immigrants. It's always the black and brown immigrants. And I want to know what exactly your issue is with immigrants.
Who said it? Who said somebody had an issue? I was just pointing to the way that people in America, almost in all 50 states, are complaining that it's stifling the economy and it's kind of holding other Americans back. No matter what you say, it's
Yeah,
causing other American.
they've
You gotta let
been,
me
yeah.
finish. I let you gotta be fair.
Go
You
ahead.
gotta let me.
Yeah.
But you can't argue these things when every American is saying it. Every race of people is saying it, and you can see it with your own two eyes in almost all 50 states. You cannot fight this stuff. You can point the finger all you want, but it's a serious problem.
Eric, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead. You know, don't but
How
don't make it
many? How
personal. I'm
many?
just saying.
No,
Am
no,
I
no.
am I lying?
This is not personal. This is a
No, I'm not talking. I'm
honest
just talking in
question.
general because every time I say something,
How many people is it that Trump said that he wants to deport, mass deportation? How many?
I don't know. I don't know.
Anybody on here can answer that question?
I think
Wasn't
he
it
said
like
like 50
11?
million or something, up in the millions.
50 million? That's too nine. I don't
I
think
heard
it's
it was
50.
something. I heard it was 11 million, but if I could be
I
wrong.
don't know what his policy positions
But
even are.
hold
He
up.
just
Okay,
passed.
Didn't
let's
they
just
said
say
they
hypothetically that it is. It's 11 million. Eric, what is that
uh-huh.
going to do to the economy?
Um based on the unemployment rate, not very much
It's not going to do
because
very much to the
hold on,
economy
let me
if you
let me
deport
explain.
11 million people.
If you look at the unemployment rate and you look at the amount of legal immigrants, if you replace the American like worker with the immigrants, 11, I mean out of 350 million people, 11 million is not that much if you really think about it. 50 states,
Cat,
350 million people.
Wow.
You remember that time back in '06 when they had that strike with the immigrants and they stopped working for like a week and they forecasted it was going to tank the economy, nothing happened. Remember that back like in look it up on
No, I
Google.
don't remember immigrants
Okay,
going on strike.
okay, look it up on ma'am.
No, just
Oh,
tell me where it
y'all gotta
was.
let people
I'm
talk. God
asking you a
damn.
question.
I'm
I'm
trying. Let
asking
me
you a
stop.
question. Tell me when it
Okay.
was. What are you
I'm
getting
telling you.
emotional for? Tell me what
Oh
it
my
was.
God. I'm okay, ma'am. Type in 2006 immigrant strike on Google. It's
I'm
about
not doing
200.
that. I want to hear you
Okay,
say it.
because I'm telling the truth. You don't want to look it
No,
up
if
yourself.
you're, listen, I
Because
want
and
to hear you say it.
can
Tell
you
me
can you
about the immigrant strike.
okay? Let me tell you. No matter what I said out of my mouth, you're going to try to contest it. That's what I'm saying.
but if you're
Everybody got
making
it,
an
I'm not.
assertion, you have to prove it. You
and I'm
have to prove it.
telling
It's on
you,
you.
it's not hard to do, sir. Well, you want me?
No,
Okay,
you have to prove it. If
okay,
you're
all right.
making a
Listen,
claim, you
all right.
have to
I'll
prove
prove.
it. Give
All
me
right,
the
okay. Let
details.
me tell you. I'm gonna prove. Listen. I'm gonna do it right now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on Google myself and I'm gonna put in the back chat. How
I
many
don't
stories
want
you
it in
want?
the back chat. I want to hear it from you. You speak
Okay.
and give us clarity.
No,
We're
no,
listening.
nobody. Okay, I'm not an encyclopedia, ma'am. Okay, I'm just telling
But
you.
you're
It's not.
citing something that you don't know about that you want us to look up together. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm telling you. If you don't want to do it, I'll do it for you. That's what I'm saying.
No, I
But let's
want you to
carry on.
explain your
Okay.
beliefs that you're sharing with us. That's all.
And I'll be here till next July talking if I gotta say everything in those
All right,
in a research. But
I'll give you. I'll give you
it's
an
not
example as a
hard.
counterpoint. I'll
It's
give you an
not that
example as a
hard, sir.
counterpoint.
I'm
Hey,
not
hey,
gonna.
listen.
It's not
Let
about
me
me.
talk. I'll give you a counterpoint, right? And I'm give you an example without me having to tell people to go look at Google, right? The issue with Springfield, Ohio, right, with all the Haitian immigrants, they said the economy was dead there before the Haitians showed up, right? It was like
Springfield,
the population.
Ohio.
Yeah,
How many people are in Springfield, Ohio? I just want to
I
know.
think it was around like 20 to 30,000, and then they
Okay, go ahead.
imported
Go
like
ahead.
yeah. I'm giving you numbers, right? Because I'm not telling you to look up Google. So when the Haitian immigrants came in, I think it was like around 60,000 or 40,000 of them, right? So they increased the population, increased the workforce, and boosted the economy. So imagine if those people got deported. What's going to happen to Springfield, Ohio?
How did they boost the economy?
So
Because they're the
because
ones working.
so let
Okay,
me
They're the
say
ones
this,
who are doing the
Mikey.
jobs that white people there don't want to do.
Mikey,
so
here's the thing. Mikey,
what
here's the
did they
thing.
do?
Hello, hello. Give me just 1 second, Mikey.
Yeah.
Um, what you just did was profound. You know what you just demonstrated? That you are speaking from your own mind and your own thoughts, your own understanding. When someone makes a statement and they can't explain it, they're usually vomiting or regurgitating other people's
Okay,
thoughts.
I'm
You know,
just
And
telling
they're
you.
on that funny website where they just hear the same thing over and over again and don't even ask for proof and just assume that everybody else is just going to listen to talking points without any evidence. When you
Okay,
speak, you should be
well,
able to explain so that the people you're listening to can understand that you, first of all, believe what you're saying and
okay,
that you can convey and argue that. Mikey, thank you. That's what people do.
all right. And like
Like,
I said, can
and
I speak?
let
Can I
me
can I
add like
speak?
another example, if I may.
Can I go? Can I do my point first?
Yeah,
Give
go
me like
ahead.
30 seconds. What
Okay.
I was just simply trying to say, ma'am, is that, um, like I said, I stick to this is history. When 2006, when immigrants striked and they predicted that the economy was going to tank because of the lack of immigrants working, and on CNN, MSNB, Fox News, they had the actual cameras with helicopters of immigrants all across America not working. And then on when you look up the stories and articles on Google in 2006, you can see that it didn't really have an effect on the economy, because what the economists and the social scientists said is that um, a group of people who didn't build this country can never make it fall off or fall to its knees, because what they could maybe contribute to this country, but they didn't ever built this place. That's all I was trying to say. And this is documented facts with any type of article, any type of any type of news article, and then they have
Uh,
the
What
actual
living person built
interviews.
America? What
uh,
living
No,
person
I'm
built
just saying
America?
this. What I just said was a fact, and
okay.
I was trying to argue that. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
Like,
but what living person built America? You're talking about a group of people who
No,
didn't
no,
build
I'm just
America.
saying
What
that's
living
all.
being? Who's alive today that built
Nothing,
what?
America?
nothing in
It
this
was
world can
just
change what happened.
transferred, you
That was
know.
a experiment. So
It
when
doesn't
people
make
say,
sense, though. It
Like,
doesn't make any
okay,
sense. It's not about who
like,
built the country. It's about
it
who's
ha
sustaining the
yeah,
country, who's
like,
it
keeping the
happened
ball
before.
rolling.
Mr.
like,
Hollison
I
The
asked
people
me a
who built the
question.
country died generations ago. What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
like, is it okay if I get to
Hold
my
on,
point now?
Hall up asked me a question about the 11 million people, and I told him about the unemployment rate of what Americans, and that if you replace those 11 million people with Americans, everything is going to go as it should. It's not going to change anything. That's all I was saying.
Like,
But
that's
go
not
ahead,
how it
go ahead.
usually goes. Like,
But go
let
ahead,
me
go
give
ahead.
you a let me give you an example of what happened in Nigeria. Back when Nigeria's economy was actually good, when the naira was equal to the pound, there were a lot of Ghanaian immigrants coming to Nigeria looking for jobs as like doctors, teachers, barbers, and due to all this immigration, people in Nigeria had this whole Ghana must go campaign, and when this campaign took off, the Ghanaians were pressured to leave the country, and as a result, Nigeria has Nigeria lost a lot of skilled labor, and and that's when their economy started to shrink. And that's when their economy started to shrink. That's when their currency started to shrink. So getting rid of immigrants is not will not bo- will change the economy a lot. Even in Haiti, when the Dominican president said he's going to deport several several thousand Haitian immigrants, he started doing that, and then not now Haiti's construction econ. I mean, sorry, not Haiti's. The Dominican Republic's construction economy is suffering because of that.
Okay. You no, your first point. You said African. What African country was that? You said Nigeria.
Nigeria, yeah,
And
that's where my
how
family's from.
and what did Farrakhan tell Chris Wallace about Nigeria? How old is Nigeria? How many years was Nigeria? When was this happening? Like what year?
Like this was in the late 70s and 80s.
Okay, so back in them times, Nigeria was pretty much damn near a brand new country, right? I mean, if you really look at it, because I remember Chris Wallace and when Wallace and Farrakhan had that infamous discussion debate
What does that
where
have to
he
do with
said,
his point though?
I'm saying no, that look at the age of the country. It's not that it's a fairly new country. America's how many 400, 500 years old?
What does the age of a
That's
country have
it's
to do with immigration policy shifting
because
from decade to decade?
when you first start in the country off with people from all around, like from different areas, it's different when the country's already established. America was already established before immigrants came here. That's what I'm
That
trying to
has
say.
Before
Immigrants is a new
immigrants
concept. What
came here.
late
Didn't
1960s?
hold
didn't
on,
this
hold
country
on.
have slavery at
Well,
once?
Mr.
We
I
talking.
thought we
Holland,
had slavery
Let's
here.
not play dumb, guys. Please, man. We talk
you,
about
Who's playing
immigration.
dumb?
we're not
Mr.
playing
Holland,
dumb.
can I come in for a
Wait, time
second?
out. Didn't this country have slavery for like a
Okay,
couple
so,
hundred
okay.
years before they started? I'm just asking the question.
That wasn't considered immigration, sir. Was
That's
it?
not.
Yes.
I just
Okay.
want
I'm technically speaking. You can't play dumb with this one. Slavery was
I'm
not
not. I'm
considered
not. How am I playing dumb?
because
I'm
you
asking a
talking
question.
about
You're
slavery.
saying
We
you're.
talking about
I'm not talking about slavery in general. I'm asking a
okay.
question. You said before immigrants. You said this country
And
was established
anybody
before.
who knows politics knows that. I would say, let me see. When did they sign? What bill was that in the 1960s? That they signed
talking about the
immigration into
Immigration Act of
law.
1965.
Okay, thank you. Start from there and keep going forward, please. Please, let's not play. Come, let's have an intelligent
Wait,
conversation.
wait,
Oh my
So,
wait,
God.
wait, wait,
Okay.
What
wait,
the fuck are
wait,
you
wait,
talking
1965.
about?
wait,
Mikey,
wait,
Mikey,
wait.
can I come in? Mikey, I need to come
All
in
right, go
because
ahead,
I
man.
need
Go ahead,
to.
man. Go
Go
I
ahead.
ahead,
really need
Devon.
to say a couple of things because I was listening to this conversation and I just felt compelled to both the panelists and the audience. I just want to first address a couple of his points. First things first is I want y'all to pay very close attention to the language and the way that he's wording things. He said Americans in all 50 states. He said that this is happening in all 50 states. No, it's not happening in all 50 states. The anti-immigrant rhetoric that's being spewed is not happening in all 50
I
states.
was hypothetically.
No, you're using that to hide behind the fact that you just don't like immigrants. Just come out and say it. Stop these hypotheticals used to cover your sentiment. Just come out and say that. That's number one. Number two, you said the talking about the Immigration Act that allowed for immigrants to come into this country. Immigrants were coming into this country as early as the 1700s. Okay, stop playing this game with us. You're not going to do these mental gymnastics. You're not going to play with us. Okay, we know what immigration is. If it wasn't for immigration, how did America get built? Where do you think George Washington came from? George Washington came from the Iroquois tribe. He came from the Kwaki Oodle. Did he come from? Where do you think
Okay,
these founders came
Or even
from?
Hamilton. Hamilton was from the fucking Caribbean.
yeah, I
Where
was
did they
talking.
come from?
I just don't want people to be all over the place. That's why I said 19. Somebody said
You're all over the place, man.
1955. I have to bring it back because you guys are being disingenuous when you talk about when you make these examples.
We
You're
are being
all
disingenuous
see. I can't even speak. Let me
because you're
speak,
making
man.
some assertion that's ridiculous, and
I
I have
let
to
you
fight
talk.
back
Go ahead
against
and
it.
talk, sir. Or
All right, let me talk. Let
Go
me.
ahead, man.
I'll talk. And I'm gonna say what it is. I think it's on your
All
guys'
right.
mind. This is typical of people who failed, who've been in America. They were born and raised. They know the system inside and out and innately, and they're kind of like, I don't know if it's a hater thing or what it is, but they hate the fact that fucking immigrants are getting these benefits, right? But if you are in America and you know all the system inside and out, right? You grew up in it, you know the culture. Yet somehow these people who just started off late, like I don't know, 18 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, right? Somehow are making it striving. This devastates people. I'm pretty sure it devastates me because I came here at 7. There's some people who came here at what, 22, 28, and so making inroad faster progress than I have. I can't hate on that. And this is what it is with Black Americans, I feel, right? Because they rest on the laurels on the fact that they were born in America and that they're quote unquote Black Americans and whatnot. That's why they're like this, having this delusion about being a native, quote unquote, right? And it's the same thing with the white people.
Who
They
said?
wasted their white skin. You wasted your time in America. You didn't take advantage of the opportunities. Now you're fucking jealous of it because the white man got a better bitch in the stable, and now you're jealous of it.
Well, the white man is
I
catching
don't.
hell too.
I just want to
You
say this.
sure?
I want to say this.
You
This
sure?
is an example.
The white man,
This is an
everybody doing
example.
back.
The anti-immigrant rhetoric that the conversation that would even happen, and is an example of we're focusing on the spider web, not the spider, or we're not focusing on target. We're spending time focusing on anti-immigrant rhetoric. Why don't you go over the corporations and the powers that be that enable it to happen?
Exactly.
You're
I broke that
focusing on the
part.
people who are utterly powerless for the most part, people who are not contributing to crime, people who are standing citizens, they want to become citizens. And meanwhile, you're not focusing on the corporations that are pricing you out of housing, the ones that are not paying you a living wage. So many people are forced to live in their cars, live in homeless shelters because they don't have the means to take care of themselves. But we're spending time focusing on immigrants.
Yeah, I would just,
Yo,
this
can
is what
I
I'm
There's
saying.
a
ask?
there's an like I said before, there's an establishment that's fucking people over, whether they be immigrants or people who are born in America.
and I
Your
asked you a
issue is
question.
with them. If you don't have the balls to
I
deal
asked
with
you,
those people,
yeah.
right? Then you shouldn't be talking shit about
I asked,
immigrants.
I
I
asked
want to
you,
say, I want
I
to say
asked you a
something really
question.
quickly.
I'm next. I'm next.
Okay, go ahead, sweetheart. Go
That's why
ahead.
I asked you that question. What's your name? Milton, Mike. I asked you that question about Democrat and Republican, and you kept on saying the establishment. Then that's when I went
Yes,
on to,
there
okay,
is no
that's
fucking Democrat, or it's a uniparty system. It's a
when,
permanent
okay,
bureaucracy that's
that's
filled up with
one,
2 million people. I'm an
when,
immigrant. I know this more than you. There's two
one,
million people who are permanently elected and are directing the
okay,
country, whether it's be
one,
foreign policy, domestic policy, or what have you. They're the ones
one
who are
party,
directing it. Yes.
one party
Can
is
I
pro-immigration,
can
and
I interject?
Oh my
one
God.
party is
This nigga.
Can I
anti-immigration.
can I
He
No,
just
interject?
no, no.
memorized talking points. Go ahead, hold up.
See, I can't
I
even
have a
get a fair
question.
shake.
Eric, I
But
have a question to ask you. I have to ask you this for
go ahead.
clarity.
Okay, I'm gonna answer, but please tell him to don't talk when I'm speaking, not to cut me off, man.
Yeah,
This I know this show.
nobody cut him off when he answered this question.
Okay.
My
Please
question to you is,
go ahead.
what year did you say immigration started in America?
No, I was given because they start going back to slavery. When I was asking about the immigration bill, somebody said 1965. So I was just letting them know, just to keep it from 1965 up to present day. Don't start talking
But
about slavery
why 1965? Why do you want to keep it there?
because listen, that's when the United States, even though we had immigrants coming in from 17, 16, whatever, fit, whatever y'all want to say, everybody knows that. They was trickling in thousands by thousand. But once America turned that key in 1965 and opened up the floodgates, they said everybody's welcome. That's when you had a mass number of people coming in, like by the millions. Everybody has common sense to know that immigrants were coming in from every country all over the world since the inception of America. Nobody's not saying that's true. Everybody knows that. But what I'm saying is in 1965, when they made it legal, you had a mass migration, then you had like another mass migration of illegal people. Am I
Uh,
correct or wrong?
you're wrong, sweetheart. Let me tell you something.
Okay. No,
Let me say this.
holla.
You asked a question. I'm gonna answer the right or wrong
No, I don't
question.
want, ma'am. Stop. I'm talking to him.
Eric, you stop talking. You
Hold up.
stop. No, no,
It's
no,
me
no,
and
no.
him.
We're
Sweetheart,
not
It's
going to
me and
you're
him not
interrupt.
to speak.
long-winded. There's a lot of us on here. You
Hold
asked
up.
if
Did
you
you
were
tell
right
him?
or wrong, and I said you are wrong, and I was going to tell you why before you continue. Okay.
Go ahead,
What
Carl.
happened in 1965 is that was not the largest influx of immigrants. That was through Ellis Island. It was Irish people. Okay.
How
What
many?
happened in 1965 is you start to see more people that look like me coming in. And that was directly tied to civil rights advances in the country.
Look like you. Where you from, ma'am?
I'm black, very black.
So you mean that?
Okay.
Oh my God. So what you're saying, what you just said, ma'am.
What I'm saying is the people that you're listening to are not mad about white people immigrating to America.
No. So you
They're
just said,
mad
ma'am.
because
Ma'am.
after
Okay.
1965, you had people who were black and brown and Asian coming in greater numbers. Europeans still came in great numbers. They're still coming in great numbers. I never hear anyone complaining about immigrants from Europe to this day.
Okay.
I live in Georgia. There are so many Eastern Europeans here, people from Ukraine. Nobody has a problem with them. As soon as they
Like,
get here, they're white.
You know
Hell,
why? Okay,
people
listen
actually
at
said they're
this.
fine with Europeans coming here.
Okay,
If I can add
let,
that.
Trump
let,
said
let, let,
that.
me-
Trump said that.
let me ask you a question. Okay, we all know. Okay, what since 1965 up until 2024, what percentage of let me see. We all know his not non-Hispanic. Uh, who else? Non-Asian. What significant percentage of those people are here in America? Go ahead. Since there's so many
I
from
don't even understand
1965
what
until
you're asking. You're asking what percentage
you
of
you 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 making
Hispanic
it because
immigrants are
what
in
you're
America?
saying is that the people you're referring to is such a minute population that they're not even on the map.
Who's a minute population?
That's what I'm
European
saying,
immigrants?
ma'am. What are you talking about? You said
I'm
people
asking
like
you to
you.
clarify your question.
My question is what you said. You said out of your mouth that people who look like you started to come in 1965.
Being
And
greater
what's
than
that? And what's that percentage, ma'am? I'm asking.
I would have to look that up, but we know that what happened
Okay,
in
so you just
1965 is
saying
that they
stuff.
started
Eric,
allowing,
Eric,
listen,
That's the definition
what
of
they
just saying
started
Eric,
stuff,
doing,
Eric,
ma'am.
what they
Eric,
started
Eric,
doing in 1965 is they allowed
Okay,
Black
all
people
right.
to come into the
Thank you,
country.
ma'am. Thank you,
From
thank
Eric,
you. Next,
places
Eric,
somebody
like
come.
Eric,
Go
the
ahead.
Eric.
African,
Somebody else
I
was
yeah,
gotta
talking.
had
Go ahead.
interrupt
no
here.
African immigrants
I'm
to come in because of the civil rights movement. That is what I'm saying. Do I
All right,
have the
I'm
exact
gonna
numbers?
call
Do I
out.
need the exact
all
numbers?
right.
And we're talking about
Can,
laws that extended because they used to deny Black people from coming here unless they were maids or house help. You know, so you got to really look at what you're talking about.
Hmm.
all right. Next
And
person.
since
Go
and
ahead.
since you want to talk about data, I actually give you the data because I actually know about this. Okay, from
Go ahead. I'm
1965
ready.
until 1980. In 1980, when they did the census, there were only 480,000 African immigrants. Today, there are over 4 million. About 10% of all Black people in this country are literally foreign born first generation. That was
Actually,
not the
one
case pre
percent.
1965.
If
99% of
if
Black people, with maybe like 1.5% came from, were actually descendants of enslaved Africans. You
all right,
had a few
can I speak?
Caribbean that came from the British West Indies. Afterwards, African
I keep getting
immigration,
muted.
specifically from Africa, accelerated. So what are you talking about?
Holla,
And
can you
not to
mute me?
mention, Africans today make up a larger chunk than even Latin America, because most people that are coming here are not coming even from Mexico when it was back in the 80s. So, what are you talking about? You
I'm
don't
talking
even
about.
understand the trends of immigration. You don't know who's coming in here. You're just spewing rhetoric like it's Chat GPT or a Google search instead of actually thinking for yourself.
All right, can I respond to you?
Yes, go ahead.
All right, you just said out of your mouth. You said 400,000 to 4 million, right? Correct.
400,000 in 1980. Right now, there are 4 million.
Okay, 4 million. All right, and you said that's 10% of Black people, which is wrong. All right, so it's 45, 50 million Black people.
Yeah,
That number is off, sir.
It's not
it's
very
about
much
it's about
off. Come on, man. What's
That that's
like
what?
that's just
that's off.
specifying it. Like
And
that's being
listen,
petty. I said about
Africans
10%.
Africans don't run over the border. Most Africans come over here on that DV lottery system. That's why you only have Ghanaian, Nigerian, Ethiopian. I live in DC. I know the system. I tutor those people able to speak English. And you got some Togo, and you got a
Ghanaians
few
and Ethiopians
Moroccans.
don't speak English.
Hold on. Let me finish. Out of all 54 African countries, you only got a handful of immigrants from Africa who can actually come on the DV lottery, granted asylum, refugee, or I forgot the student visa. They have to have all tests, HIV, all the tests. They got to have a relative, a place to stay, and at least a
This
formal
nigga
basic
right here.
education. There you go.
LOL.
There you go. That's the proof. We all
So
know it. Next
DV is
question.
offered in every
LOL.
country.
Because I'm telling the truth. You can't refute that one.
DV is offered in every African country. And
I'm
some
just, ma'am.
African
I
people across
understand. I
the
know what you're
board.
saying, but
Eric, you
go ahead.
gotta let people talk, man.
I mean, you had me muted. I mean, I'm trying to
Yeah,
answer the
because you're
You
question.
talking.
muted
You're
yourself,
talking.
probably.
No, I muted him because he's talking while they're talking. You got to let him talk, and then you go.
DV is offered in every African country. And if you look at border statistics, there are also Nigerians and other people coming across the border because it's this whole global human trafficking syndicate where people can pay a lot of money. And you have skilled immigrants coming across the border as well. This place is looked at for a lot of people as a land of opportunity because of the economy. The only time I think, there's an issue with people and immigrants is when the people themselves are not as prepared as the immigrants to take advantage of work opportunities. Corporations are looking at a skilled workforce. The majority of the jobs that immigrants are taking away from Americans are highly skilled jobs. Highly skilled jobs. I work in corporate America. Most of the IT people come from India or Bangladesh or Pakistan. Most of them. Most of the engineers are Asians and Africans. Most of the medical doctors here in Georgia are foreign born, foreign educated. They come here and pass boards and just become doctors. So I don't really see our people fighting for the jobs, picking
So do
pigs
black
in
and
the
white.
field, right? I don't see that. I don't
So
see.
to add to Carl's point, right? With the skilled labor thing, isn't it? Don't you think if quote unquote regular Americans, right, the ones who are born here, the whites and the blacks, if you see this happening, right, and they're just taking skilled labor from other countries and bringing them to America, wouldn't you say that's an issue that's caused by government policies where they underfunded the education of black and white people who are born in the U.S.? Shouldn't your issue and your beef be with the people who ran those governments?
Who are you talking to? Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, so what you're saying is that the American school system is so inadequate that Americans aren't
Yeah,
smart enough to come.
yeah.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
so where?
So
So
who caused
okay,
that? Was it
okay.
immigrants?
Can I respond, or you got more?
It's a yes or
Can
no question. Did immigrants cause the degradation of an American education system?
no, I know nobody said that.
No.
But
No. Okay, that's a no, right? So
no,
if it's the immigrants didn't cause it, then who caused it?
that country they come from.
No, the country that the immigrants came from destroyed the American education system.
No,
Is that
what
what
are
you're
you
saying?
talking about? No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying you just said that.
Then who degraded and like diminished the American education system?
I mean, the American education isn't damaged or I mean, it's not the
Who
best.
did?
It's not
Okay,
the best
who
public.
caused it to be second rate or third rate or fifth rate?
Second rate to who?
Who caused the American education system to be to the point where
I
they
don't.
have to
I don't think
hire
he
people from
agrees,
outside the country?
Michael. I don't think he agrees that America has an inferior education system. He
Yeah, I
thinks
Oh,
mean,
really?
that listen.
Asia.
He thinks that Americans are skilled, and the American business owners are giving jobs to foreigners anyway, which would never happen.
I said,
It would
well, I
never
didn't say.
happen that somebody is going to give a job to somebody named Bangladi or Fambula over someone named Jones if they have the same skills. When you have a name that's not pronounceable in this country, it is much more difficult for you to advance yourself.
I'm proof
My
of that,
life's a
right?
test, and
By
I
the
was
way,
born here, and I'm telling you this as facts. But what happens is because you're able to perform, because you're prepared, because you have work ethic, you advance in this world. That's what it is. And what needs to
Yeah,
happen?
but
What
what
needs to
I don't.
happen is that we need to make our labor force in this country more competitive than foreign labor forces. That's really what this is about.
Well, I think. Well, the only reason why a lot of immigrants do get the little bit of high-paying jobs that a little bit of them do get is because most of those companies have like a diversity quota. Like
The
we all know.
diversity quota
That is bullshit. I'm
applies
in
to
tech. I'm
Americans first and foremost.
listen. I'm
Okay,
in tech.
nobody's going to give a
I'm
job to somebody with a green card over someone who's
Minorities.
a U.S. citizen with equal skills. I
That
will
listen.
hire
I'm in
people. Listen
tech.
to me. Let me
I,
say something, guys. I'm sorry to interrupt. Let's me get this out because I don't like that disinformation.
yeah,
If two people are equally skilled and one is a U.S. citizen and one has a green card, there is no policy that encourages you to hire the person with a green card. That diversity quota is really for U.S. citizens, for African people, and the biggest benefactors are white women.
No,
White
actually,
women are the
minorities.
biggest. White women are the biggest benefactors of affirmative action, which is no longer a thing, but the diversity inclusion is still white women.
Okay.
You know that. Everyone knows this.
What I'm
Why
talking
would you
about,
be
legal,
talking
legal
about
people, legal, ma'am. Like when let me see, let me give you a job. I used to work at let me see, back when I used, the cell phone company Sprint. One of my first jobs, they had like I seen on the
people
back
with
of
green cards are legal?
every job you work on, they have like a EEO poster. Well, it can't be like all white, all black. It has to be like a certain number of people who are considered minority, pretty much basically anybody who's not a white man. So that can be an immigrant, a regular black guy like myself, an Asian person, a white woman is what I'm saying. So most companies have a diversity quota. And like I said before, with a lot of immigrants, when they get like visas, whether it be educational, DV lottery, Google don't mind picking up some Asians or some Indians who going to school in Stanford or Duke or USC or Harvard because they know that's going to help the company. So what you're saying is not new. Everybody knows this stuff, but we're not talking about green cards and people who come here legally. We're talking about the
So
legal
you're
people is
saying
what
they
I'm
hire
saying.
illegal people for diversity inclusion?
I didn't say that. That's what you were saying. What you was comparing a green card to somebody who's here legally.
No, I
And
wasn't. I'm not even talking about illegal people. I'm
you
talking
said
about
that.
immigrants.
You
I've
just said
never
it.
talked about illegal people coming here illegally is a completely different topic. When
You
you
just
say
said out of your
immigrants,
mouth.
listen,
Everybody
illegal
No,
heard you
she
say.
aliens
did
are not
not. She did
immigrants.
not say that. I heard
What
the
what
conversation.
what
She
what
did
did she
not
say
say.
about
She didn't say
what
anything about illegals.
she said?
Nothing.
What did she say about a green card compared to? She said
U.S.
anybody with.
citizens. I said people with green cards who are not illegal. Green card holders are not illegal. A green card is a legal immigrant.
But you compared the two or the job. You had
And
some type of example.
I said if someone had a green card
Uh
and
huh.
someone else is a U.S. citizen and they have the exact
Okay.
same skills, the U.S. citizen is going to always get priority.
Okay. I just
That's what
heard you.
I'm
Okay.
saying. So
Go ahead.
green card holders are legal, but they have a slight disadvantage until they naturalize and become U.S. citizens. That's why you see so many immigrants who are legal advance to becoming American citizens because there's more privileges that go along with that. There's certain jobs you can't hold in this country if you're not a U.S. citizen. Okay, so it's not, there are protections built into the employment system for American citizens, but you have to have the same skills. If a
Yeah.
person with a green card is more qualified than you are, they will get preference. And that is
Okay.
what it is.
Okay. That's what you said. But okay, like I said, like back to my example, my person when I used to work at Sprint in my high school years or early college
What
years,
were you doing for
it
Sprint?
just selling cell phones, nothing spectacular, but they had guys with green cards, African dude and a Hispanic dude. Both of them had green cards, and they
Yeah,
can work
those are
like me. They
legal
do everything.
people.
I'm just saying. That's all
Yeah,
I'm
they can do
saying.
everything except vote and get
Yeah.
certain types of jobs. But working selling cell phones
But
at Sprint
yeah,
not
yeah. That's just
is not a
yeah.
job
That's
that's
not. Yeah.
reserved for American citizens.
That's not.
Are
That
you
you
mad that
brought
they
up.
made the quota more than you? Are you mad that they made
No.
the
They
quota more than
didn't. They didn't. I was a manager. But hold on. Another thing. Somebody else said earlier that all these immigrants getting these doctors and lawyers and engineering jobs, and we all know that's not the
Not
vast
law.
majority.
No, sweetheart, let me back up. Immigrants do not get preferential treatment with law jobs because America has a superior law system than
Well,
most countries in the world.
Mike said
So most of the
something close
lawyers
to that
who work
earlier.
in the United States, almost all, have graduated from law schools in the United States because the US, with the exception of New York State, requires a Juris Doctorate degree before you can practice law. So that I said engineers, I said doctors, technical people, IT specialists, these highly skilled professions. Most of the people of color who are doctors in Georgia are foreign born.
Most of them in the whole state. In the whole state of Georgia, most of them are
That's
foreign
correct.
born.
Because I went to a medical conference and this is what they were explaining. So they're trying to get more young people into STEM, more
Yeah,
young Americans into STEM.
I don't believe in the South. You got more immigrant because, like I said, I
You
live in
don't
D.C.
have to
now.
believe it, but
Hold on,
it's true.
hold
I'm talking
on.
about minorities. I'm not talking about white doctors in little boonfuck
I
towns. I'm
understand.
talking about people of color. It doesn't mean that there's no African American doctors. And even among the African American doctors,
Okay, I'm gonna need
many
you to
of
be
them are
specific.
also foreign born. They're just US citizens.
All right. Yeah,
That's a
I just
fact.
can't believe in a southern state like Georgia that you got more doctors from a different
You don't
and
have to
You
believe it.
ain't
It's
been in
true. I don't know
Atlanta.
what you think
all
Maybe you
of
Georgia
should
those.
visit
is. I
Georgia.
don't know what you think
Maybe you should
Georgia
visit
is.
Atlanta.
You must think Georgia's like even Mississippi got a bunch of immigrant foreign, but
Yeah.
Atlanta, Macon, Georgia,
No,
Savannah, these are places.
outside of Atlanta, Georgia's pretty much
Yo, Eric,
um huh?
You
Go
gonna
ahead.
tell me about Georgia?
I hate
I'm
to
about to
You
say
interrupt.
gonna
you
tell
gonna
me
mix
about Georgia? Really? You know,
Eric,
I'm
Eric,
from Charleston, South Carolina, man. But go
how
ahead,
many
Carla.
minority
Hold up.
doctors
Go ahead,
are
hold up. Go ahead, hold up.
outside of metropolitan centers
Hold
in
up.
Georgia?
Hold up. Go ahead with the question.
this is a riveting conversation, but we've gone way over time, and I'm hungry,
Yeah.
so we're gonna end this.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate you
If you
I
want
guys.
to
think
come
that's a
back,
good
if you want
idea.
to come back, hey, Eric, if you want to come back next Sunday for a debate or something, we'd be open to it. But
Yeah, I'll be
right
back.
now, yeah,
I just can't let people just say anything and get away with it. I had to break everything
Eric,
I
down. But
yo,
look up
all
that
right,
Eric,
all
I
article.
right,
agree,
all
Eric.
right,
Hey,
all right.
that is
That's enough. I'm
ironic.
gonna let everybody
boy,
make their closing
you know
statements, and we
you're the
gotta
only
go.
person
This
over
nigga
here
troll,
trying to
man.
get away with
All
stuff.
right,
Look
all
up that
right,
immigration
guys.
06. Look up that
Hey,
article.
everybody, check it out. Look, I'm gonna let everybody make their closing statements. That we've got to go.
All right,
So, Eric, please spit your 5 bars,
my 5 bars. Yeah,
and we
just
gotta bounce.
Wrap it
1
up,
minute.
Eric.
I'm gonna be just look out for this election Tuesday and look up that article for that 2006 immigration. That's all I gotta say. That
All
immigrant
right.
strike. Go ahead.
All right. Anybody else have anything to say, or is that it?
I ain't
I
I'll
got
got
nothing
say it.
else to say, but I enjoy
I'll
talking to you, Eric.
I'll say it. If you got issues with the way this immigrant policy is going, your issue is with the people in charge, which is the establishment. Don't be taking up your angst at immigrants who didn't have
Can't
any
hear him.
say in them leaving.
Can you speak up a little bit, homie? Your sound is going out.
Say it again. I said if you have
Yeah.
issues with immigrants coming over, your beef shouldn't be with the immigrants. Your beef should be with the establishment people, right? The actual power base that's causing this shit to happen. So if there's any issue that should be had, your beef should be with them, not with the immigrants.
I agree.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Anybody else? Jabari, Sister
I ain't
Fumbler,
got
anybody
nothing.
else anything to say?
I ain't got nothing to say.
All right. All right.
I love y'all, man.
All
I
right,
got to go
y'all.
too. Peace,
See you
All
everybody.
next. All
right.
right. Peace.
Peace,
Peace.
everybody.
Peace.
The show is over. Want to thank everybody for,